Thank you, Deputy. Deputy Catherine Murphy.
Thank you. I just want to state on the record that I will be supporting this bill, and I'll be supporting it with some regrets because I believe it could have gone further, but I do think there are things to be welcomed in it. One of the things that I've noticed in the debate has, particularly from people who are, seeking changes in relation to deleting this section, or the section on suicide, the absence of any real reference to the 1992 and the 2002 referendums. In 1992, there were 3 separate ballots. The first sought to limit the rights based on suicide, and the citizens of this country decided that they didn't want to limit that right. The second one was the right to travel, and that was passed. And the third one was the right to information, and that was passed. The referendum arose, in essence, from the issues surrounding the X case. And it happened very soon after the X case, when a 14-year-old brought into sharp focus just exactly what was at stake. And this was not an academic issue. It was a very real issue for a very real child in this country. The 25th Amendment in 2002 also sought to tighten the constitutional ban on abortion. It would have removed the threat of suicide as grounds for illegal abortion in the state. And it was rejected by the people of Ireland. We have a written constitution that places the citizen at the heart of the constitution, and it deliberately was written to place the citizens at the heart of the constitution. They have given us a set of instructions, and we have failed. We have failed over a period of decades to put that into law. I can't think of another issue that would have been so disregarded. Deputy Keaveney talks about groupthink. Was it groupthink in 1992, and was it groupthink in 2002? That was not an opinion poll. That was the people of Ireland giving us a set of instructions that we have an obligation as legislators to take on board and to deliver on. I want to ask, if this segment is excluded, how will it be provided for? Because the people of this country have given that as a right. How will it be provided for? Is it a question that someone that is suicidal could be committed? And indeed, when we were getting the briefing at a very early stage on this legislation, I expressed that as an issue of concern. Just think it out. Just what would be the consequence if you take it to the logical conclusion? Are you going to curtail or remove the right to liberty of a person, of a woman, or indeed of a child? We have seen, and to our disgrace, we've seen how we have treated women in the past. We've seen things like the Magdalen laundries and the mother and baby homes. It may well be for different reasons. It may well have been partly because of that type of a reason. We have an obligation here. Why did citizens decide to include suicide? Because the evidence was there. It was there that there was a 14-year-old child who had been suicidal following a rape. I believe the Irish people displayed the kind of compassion that I believe is part of something that we can be proud of in this country. Last week, I saw similar compassion. but I didn't see it in Ireland. I saw it in Liverpool when I went to visit the Liverpool Women's National Trust Hospital. The visit was specifically organised around the issue of fetal abnormalities by the group Doctors for Choice. We met an obstetrician and many other members of the staff in several sections of the hospital. A very fine hospital, biggest maternity hospital in Europe, is attached to the university. I'll go into that a little bit later when we come to the next segment, if we actually have time to deal with the next segment. But we asked what was different about Irish women. Was there anything noticeable that was different about Irish women when they presented there with fetal abnormalities, very often with a much wanted pregnancy? We asked what did they notice about Irish women, was there anything, and they said Irish women expected the staff to judge them, to be judgmental, because it's almost a conditioning. They got a compassion in a country that they should have got the same compassion and the same duty of care here. Because of that terribly tragic situation that they find themselves in. And I would want the government to today commit to deal with that issue. If it can't be dealt with in the context of the 8th Amendment, I want to see this government committing to dealing with that issue by way of referenda, because it is just absolutely barbaric. I found myself thanking the staff for their compassion, and I felt ashamed of that our country could not offer that kind of compassion in their own country. At the time when a young woman, a child very often we've seen, or a woman, find themselves in a situation that they are suicidal, and if it happens to one, it can happen to others. When they need compassion, when they most need their family, when they most need their friends around them, if they're suicidal, how does excluding this very, very restrictive segment from the legislation make them feel about themselves? Does it make them feel, first of all, judged because they're going to another country? Or second, does it feel that they're judged also by the very fact that they feel suicidal? The issue of floodgates. Floodgates were going to open with artificial contraception, and we had an Irish solution to the Irish problem. Divorce. We had 2 referenda on divorce, and we had floodgates. And the second time it was passed with a very restricted 4-year minimum term limit. This morning on the radio, somebody said we should relax that. Is there anybody batting an eyelid about that now? No, they're not. This notion of floodgates is rolled out on every single occasion when there is a social issue that needs to be addressed in this country, and we need to grow up and start doing things because they need to be done, and not this overly cautious approach. I've met and spoke with numerous people over the past few months. I find many men will say to you, I don't really feel comfortable dealing with this issue. And it's noticeable that they would say it to you. And many women just ask for one thing. They ask to be trusted. And it's the women that are asking to be trusted. I question, just on one particular thing, I had one of my amendments ruled out of order on the basis that it would be a charge on the state, and where I would love to see what has been the poor relation of the health service, the mental health service area, beefed up where it would be at a level that we would all like to see. The reality of it is at the moment very under-resourced. And I know we're in a very difficult financial situation, but it's an area that needs to be protected. But the care path that has been identified would require very significant resources. And I don't understand why some amendments are ruled out of order because they will be a charge on the state, and something like this can be included, because it is a very substantial obligation that is being sought, and I would love to see it happen. As I say, I believe that much more needs to be done. I will be supporting the legislation because I think it's movement, even if it is very limited movement. Thank you.
I now call on the Government Chief Whip, who wishes to